You used their photos.
I just wanted people to understand what I was talking about.
I know what you wanted. I'm 34, and we've been out of contact with my mother-in-law for a few years now, long enough that the silence has started to feel less like a wound and more like a feature of the landscape. We have 2 kids, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and we live in a house that is perpetually 3 tasks away from being organized. Our life is genuinely ordinary, and that matters for what comes next. My father-in-law is 63 and operates in a kind of permanent diplomatic mode that I have mostly stopped resenting because I think it's the only way he knows how to survive the situation. He calls my husband every few weeks. They talk about sports and the kids and things happening in his town, and neither of them mentions her directly. We check her public profiles every few weeks just to know. My husband does it more than I do. We don't have a name for this system. It's just what we do.
I'll keep it short. I know it's late. Nothing's wrong, there was something I thought he should hear from me first. It's probably nothing. I don't want to make it into something. Just tell him I called. He'll know what I mean.
My father-in-law called on a Tuesday, or possibly a Wednesday. An ordinary weeknight call, nothing that registered as anything. I was half listening from the kitchen, catching tone rather than content. At some point I heard the register of the conversation shift, not louder, not angrier, just different, the way air in a room changes when someone opens a window. Then there was that specific kind of quiet that has a shape to it. I heard a door, not slammed, just closed deliberately, which in our house has a different sound than closing a door because you're moving through it. What kind of group? Did he say how long? Okay, you don't have to. Yeah, take the dog. I'll be up. When he came back, he said his father had mentioned, almost offhandedly, that his mother had joined some kind of online group. For parents, he said. For parents who were estranged from their adult children. He said it the way you'd relay information you're not sure what to do with yet, like reading a label on something unfamiliar. He said he was going to take the dog out. And I said, okay. And I knew he just needed to walk around the block in the dark for a while. There's more than I thought there would be. She's in one of them. I found it pretty fast. I don't know what I expected. While he was out, I opened my laptop. I have an email address I've had since around 2015 that I made originally for something I no longer remember, and I have kept it the way you keep a tool you rarely use but wouldn't want to be without. It took about 6 minutes to set up a secondary account and find the groups. There are more of them than I expected. They have names that sound supportive and neutral, the kind of names that don't tell you anything about what actually gets said inside. I found hers in the 3rd group I checked, which felt faster than it should have. You used their photos.
I just wanted people to understand what I was talking about.
I know what you wanted. It goes back months. She's been doing this for a while. The first post I saw from her wasn't the one with the photos. The username was distinctive in a way I recognized. She has always used a version of the same handle, a combination of her name and a number that I had seen enough times to know immediately. And the writing style was hers, the particular rhythm of it, the way she structures sympathy toward herself by beginning sentences with what other people have done. The post went back further than I expected, months at minimum, possibly longer. Each one was slightly different, but structurally the same, the way chapters in a certain kind of book all follow the same shape even when the details change. The post with the photos was the 3rd one I read. It was a longer post, more narrative than the others, and I was partway through it before I understood that the story she was telling was supposed to be about my family. The photos were at the bottom. My kids, in pictures I knew had been taken at a family event a few years ago, before the distance had calcified into something formal. Somewhere in the same thread, in the comments, details surfaced that I had to stop and reread. Not details about me exactly, but about my husband. Specific things. The kind of specific that doesn't come from general impression or vague grievance, but from actual memory, from things that were said or happened in a context that was supposed to be private. Strangers were responding to her, offering her language for what had apparently happened to her, and I couldn't stop reading even though I wanted to. By Sunday, the account was gone. Not the group, just her account. Everything. Posts, comments, photos, replies. His father had said he would look into it, but this happened faster than I think his looking into it would have moved. The photos of my kids are gone from that space. Whatever else she'd written there, whatever version of us she'd shared with those strangers, is also gone. Whether she starts a new account, under a different name, or in a different group, or on a different platform, is a question I've thought about more than I'd like. The kids will be 6 and 8 this year.